شو करें شو करें أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقالت طائفة من أهل الكتاب آمنوا بالذي أنزل على الذين آمنوا وجه النهار واكفروا آخره لعلهم يرجعون ولا تؤمنوا إلا لمن تبع دينكم قل إن الهدى هدى الله أن يؤتى أحد مثل ما أوتيتم أن يؤتى أحد مثل ما أوتيتم أو يحاجوكم عند ربكم قل إن الفضل بيد الله يؤتيه من يشاء والله واسع عليم يختص برحمته من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم ومن أهل الكتاب من إن تأمنه بقنطار يؤديه إليك ومنهم من إن تأمنه بدينار لا يؤديه إلا إليك إلا ما دمت عليه قائما ومنهم من إن تأمنه بدينار لا يؤديه إليك إلا ما دمت عليه قائما ذلك بأنهم قالوا ليس علينا في الأميين سبيل ويقولون على الله الكذب وهم يعلمون بلى من أوفى بعهده واتقى فإن الله يحب المتقين إن الذين يشترون بعهد الله وأيمانهم ثمنا قليلا أولئك لا خلاق لهم في الآخرة لا خلاق لهم في الآخرة ولا يكلمهم الله ولا ينظر إليهم يوم القيامة ولا يزكيهم ولهم عذاب أليم وإن منهم لفريقا يلوون ألسنتهم بالكتاب لتحسبوه من الكتاب وما هو من الكتاب ويقولون هو من عند الله وما هو من عند الله ويقولون على الله الكذب وهم يعلمون ما كان لبشر أن يؤتيه الله الكتاب والحكم والنبوة ثم يقول للناس كونوا عبادا لي من دون الله كونوا عبادا لي من دون الله ولكن كونوا ربانيين بما كنتم تعلمون الكتاب وبما كنتم تدرسون ولا يأمركم أن تتخذوا الملائكة والنبيين أربابا أيأمركم بالكفر بعد إذ أنتم مسلمون صدق الله مولانا العظيم وبلغ رسوله النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم.
Jazakallah, brother Faiz. MashaAllah, good recitation. Allah give you reward for that. So inshallah, we are discussing Surah Ali Imran, and just a quick revision of Surah Ali Imran. This Surah Ali Imran is a Madani Surah and deals exclusively toward the Christians and to some extent Ahlul Kitab, means also Jewish affairs. So this Surah Ali Imran is very important for us, for the people who are living in North America, because it is predominantly a Christian country. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to the all aspects of life, including how to dialogue with Christians, other Ahlul Kitab, how to live with them, what is their nature. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing the views of Christians, how some of their views have become faulty, and what addition or bid'at they have added to their belief system. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pointing them out, and also giving the accurate information that had been corrupted by some of the priests. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so Bismillah, وَقَالَتْ طَائِفَةٌ مِّنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ آمَنُوا بِالَّذِي. So I would like to also discuss some of the word. What does ta'ifa means? Ta'ifa means a group of people. So it can have many meaning. When we go to Hajj and go around Kaaba, we call it tawaf. Tawaf means go around it. So, but when it is referred to something that is rotating or going, but when we are referring to people, it is usually a group of people. This is also a word used in Urdu. So, if a delegation from any foreign country comes to a country, we say a taifa had come, means a group of people have come, or a group of dignitaries. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that a group of Ahlul Kitab. Here is Christians, because in Medina, there were Jewish tribes. Three major Jewish tribes were living: Banu Khariza, Banu Nazir, Banu Khanekha. So, to a great extent, people of Medina, Ansar, Aus and Khazraj, they knew how to their interaction with Jews, but there were no Christians as such. So also there were Jews outside in the suburb of Medina, like just north of Medina. There was a town which was called Khaybar, that was also Jewish, and also they were scattered, towns and settlements. They were prima, but Jews were there in Medina, but Christians, they were isolated Christians in some south, and some of the tribes, northern tribes, had accepted to the Christianity. So Banu Ghatfan, which was the northern most Arabic tribes, they had border with Syria. So these Ghatfan were Christians, and Najran, which was Yemen, they were Christians. One tribe, the tribe of Hatim Tai, that was called a tribe of Tai, they had converted to Christianity, but in Medina itself, there were very few Christians. So, as I said, after the Battle of Badr, a delegation of Najrani Christians came. 70 of them came with the two of the priests. And what they did at that time, and for a long time, it was their practice for the Christian priests that they would not allow common people other than priests to recite Bible or to know anything. So they thought that it was an exclusive club or exclusive knowledge, and they came to Nabi Sallallahu and tried to ask him questions that a non-Christian would not know. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the whole Surah Ali Imran, that how to deal with Ahlul Kitab. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in this first ayah, and a group of people have a mentality that they say, okay, in the earlier part of the day, accept Islam, and refuse it in the latter part of the day. So people will think, okay, there's something wrong. So it doesn't mean day and night. It means, and this mentality continues to this day. If you see some of the Christian programs, televangelists and their programs, you will see that they'll bring up people, and they said that, this is such and such person, John, Duke or somebody who had accepted Islam and then left. So the viewers or the people would think, oh, there's something mazallah wrong with Islam. That's why he went and accepted Islam. And then, so this is the psychology they are seeing. And it is sometimes, if you have seen some of the TV programs run by the Christian TV stations, you'll know their psychology. That psychology continues. So La'allakum yarjubun means, so they turn back. So they turn back from the faith. So a group of people is saying that, okay, accept it and then leave it. So this way, there will be a rumor spread that, there's something wrong with Islam. But in the reality, what happened? When Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam wrote the first letter to Heraclius, who was considered who was the king of the most Christian, most powerful Christian empire, Roman Empire. It was called Holy Roman Empire. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam wrote. So at that time, Abu Sufyan was visiting, his land. So he summons Abu Sufyan, and among many questions, one of the questions he asked, that people who are accepting Islam, has any of them has turned back or reverted back to their old ways after accepting Islam? So Abu Sufyan, although he was the arch enemy of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said no. And he's another question Heraclius had asked Abu Sufyan, that the converts to this new religion, are they increasing or decreasing? And he said increasing. And after the dialogue, he said that, this is such is the fate of Iman, that, once you tasted the Iman, you never reverted back. So it was the Heraclius, he himself had told Abu Sufyan. But, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing those people, that their strategy, how do they, and وَلَا تُؤْمِنُوا إِلَّا لِمَنْ تَبَعَ دِينَكُمْ. So do not accept unless, they convert to your religion. So these Christians, they were telling their followers that, only if they accept your religion, and your interpretation of all that, then only accept. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Qul," say, "Innal huda hudallah," that guidance is with Allah. So inna yuta ahadum mislum aw utitum aw yuhajukum inda rabbikum. So anybody who has given the guidance, the prophet, and why would you argue to him about that? Because to them, among Christians, there were many different interpretation and many different Bibles they were following. Quran, we follow one Quran. Even if there's a minor, if somebody stretch a mud too long instead of 2 mud, 3, somebody will, correct him that, the stretch was 2. But in the book that was revealed to Isa alayhi salam, that was, Injil, it is not a one book, because different Hawaris or different of disciples of Jesus, Isa alayhi salam, what they did, they collected the teachings of Isa alayhi salam and wrote it, and they named it gospel of Barnabas, gospel of Thomas, gospel of Luke, gospel of Matthews. So these are the different ones. So they came and asked. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that Allah is giving the direct, this was the prophet that Isa alayhi salam had prophesied that he will come, and all the previous prophets have prophesied, and he has come. Now why would you argue with him that it is? So you could do that with ordinary people. Most of the people were illiterate people, because until the rise of Renaissance in the Europe, most of the Europe was illiterate. Only the priests knew it, and they kept it close to their chest. They would not like to divulge their teachings of Bible to the. Actually, it was even illegal to print and publish Bible. Only there was a one printing press that was developed called Gutenberg press in Germany. Only that, like there was one dissident, he went there and started printing the Bible and distributed freely. Otherwise, the Christian priests thought that it was an exclusive club. Only priests are allowed to read and interpret the Bible. So we had discussed this word yuhajukum. So yuhajukum, it is the loud argument in Arabic, and we discussed it that the base of that is the word hajj, like hajj, that pilgrimage we perform. So in Arabic, there are some words that has a vocabulary meaning or the literal meaning, and there's also a term. So hajj that we use is the pilgrimage that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had decreed upon us, anybody who's there. But hajj, what you do is go there and chant Allah's name, Allahu Akbar, or we say labbaik Allahumma labbaik. So when you chant it, so there is a loud noise, and when we are performing the hajj, so that's the root word of that. And but in vocabulary of Arabic, yuhaju means arguing some. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Israel, this Christian group of people who had come to talk to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why would you argue with him loudly? Qul innal fazla biyadillah yutiha man yasha wallahu wasi'un. So this Allah is the one who can bestow favor on anybody. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there was a lot of things that sometimes not only Christians but the pagans who rejected the faith, they realized that it is truth, but what got in their way was their tribal affiliation, sometimes ego and all that. So some of the Mazallah even said that why it was not revealed to us. Astaghfirullah. They were not capable of that, but they say that they realized that it's a very beautiful kalam, but if it would have come to us, we would have accepted. We are very wealthy people and all that. So they were also jealous that how come Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his nation was selected. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that Allah can bestow his favors on anybody. Yaqtusu bi rahmatihi man yasha wallahu zul fazl al azim. So Allah is the one. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using for his beloved prophet the birahmah. Allah has exclusively rahmat or the blessing on Nabi Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam. On other part, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So the rahma is the word that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used for Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He has sent Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam as a mercy to the all mankind. So just on the side note, I would like to use that in the beginning of Quran recitation we read Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So the scholars who have described the difference between Rahman and Rahim is Rahman is the general mercy without any discrimination of what religion you are. So because of Allah's Rahim, if you read Surah Rahman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not describing his rahmat on Muslims, but the whole general humankind and jinn kind, that what favors he has described. But Rahma or Rahimiyat, it is exclusively those people who follow the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala says Rahman and Rahim. So Rahmaniyat has to do with this world. Those people who work hard, Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed some money, there is some physical strength, some political influence. It is only limited to this world. And it is based on hard work, planning and all that. But Rahimiyat, that is exclusively hereafter. And that is dependent on the good deeds and good iman. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now is describing, just like, now there are many different denominations of Christians. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing, at that time, there were not so many denominations. They were, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, there was, only few denominations, but now there are many denominations, Pentecostal, Catholics, Jehovah's Witness, and all those people. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing group of people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that among them is a group of people. If you lend them 1 dinar or 1 coin, they will not give it to you unless, you go stand over there and demand that, they return the money. And there's also a group of people. They are so honest. They're honest that, if you even give them the heap of, silver coins, they will return you without any hesitation. So what is that? That describes that among all the group of people, there are good people and bad people. So there are people who truly believe in the teaching of Christianity, and honesty is one of them. And they would do that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing that, there are two kinds of people. And here, this practice continues to do a good day. That, we have seen some of the televangelists being very rich, very greedy and all that. On the other hand, there are some denominations, some group of Christian people, they are working in the, most remote areas of Amazon forest in Africa, doing the good humanitarian work. So these are the people who truly believe in the teachings of Isa alayhi salam or Christ. So that's what Allah says. I mean, Ahl al-Kitab, I mean, in tamanhu biqantarin yuwiddihi. So biqantarin means a heap of gold. Ilayka wa minhum min in tamanhu bidinan. And another group of people is this, that even if you give them 1 dinar, he will not return to you. So and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing those people who cheat or behave dishonestly. What is their mentality? They say that there would not be any accountability if we, cheat these pagan people or Ummi people, means the illiterate people, because, we are the one who are literate people. We have been blessed with the book. So this is, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, chastising them that, how come they do that? They are saying the lies, because whatever they are telling, it is not proven by even their own sources, the Bible or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command them to cheat somebody who doesn't know? So this is a person who's naive, or a person who's illiterate. He is more vulnerable when he's doing the trade deal. So anything that some of the group of people, they were saying that we can cheat the people and we will get away. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, rather, whoever fulfill his promise and deal honestly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one. He like the people who are pious and who are the righteous people. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إن الذين يشترون بعهد الله وأيمانهم ثمنا قليلا أولئك لا خلاق لهم في الآخرة ولا يكلمه الله ولا ينظر إليهم يوم القيامة ولا يزكيهم ولهم عذاب أليم. So those people, they promise something, like whether it's a trade deal or some other deals. Aymanihim, I will again like to, I had explained this word, Aymanihim. Ayman, it is not Iman, Ayman. Ayman means, it is, the root word of that is from Yamin, like a right-handed person is called, a person who deals, work with it, is called Yamin, Ashabul Yamin, Ashabul Shimal. So in the, even now, when you go to court and if a judge wants somebody to take an oath, he has to raise his right hand. But in the Arab or the Islamic tradition, they would take their right hand and put it on the right hand of the person they are taking the oath of a path. So that is called Aymanihim. So the root word is Yamin, or right-handed person. So because the oath was taken. So here the practical meaning of Aymanihim means their oaths. So those people who have sold their, or they have violated their oaths for some selfish or some few coins. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that, these are the people that they would not have any reward in the day after, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not purify them, and Allah will not even look at them, and for them there's a severe punishment. وَإِن مِّنْهُمْ لِفَرِيقٍ يَلُونَ أَلْسِنَتَهُمْ, and among them is a group of people, what they do, that since, as I said, that it was a common problem that they would not teach the teachings of Bible or Christianity to general people. So most of the people until the Renaissance, they were illiterate. So what they would do, that they will use the Bible as their selfish means, like if they want to prove their point. So they will twist their tongue like that. Like it was a particular way they will pray the prayers. So they will say something, in a way that, oh, God doesn't want you, but they will use a theatrical voice in which usually they will conduct the sermons, and they say, oh, God doesn't want you to stay home. So they will use those kind of chanting. So they will, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that, Yalona al-sinatahum, so they will twist their tongues. So just to sound like more dramatic and till that. So people will think that it is from the, because a general person who doesn't know the Bible, who doesn't know how to read and write, if he sees a priest and he is saying that in the same manner he's reading the, he will think that, okay, he's maybe quoting me a portion from Bible, but rather than they would add up something, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pointing out toward those people. وَيَقُولُونَ مِنْ indillah, and then they will say, okay, this is from the word of Allah, and actually it is not. وَيَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذَبَ وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ, and they know themselves, because they can fool the people who are naive and who are illiterate, but they know it better, and they should not do that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is condemning them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now is saying that anybody, like means prophets, all the prophets that had come before Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that was Isa alayhi salam, that was Zakaria alayhi salam, Yahya alayhi salam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given them the book like they were given the knowledge of the book and the book. And why would they tell their subjects or their followers to worship themselves, or why would they tell them to do the shirk of that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given those prophets, all those prophets that these Christians believe in. And why would they tell them to worship themselves or to worship the angels? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had never told them, and they had never told them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Allah had taught those prophets before Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam the wisdom, hikmah, and also the knowledge of the وَلَا يَأْمُرُكُمْ أَن تَتَّخِذُوا مَلَائِكَةَ وَالنَّبِيِّينَ أَرْبَابًا. So they never told, they will never tell the people to associate anybody with Allah, whether that's angels, whether they are prophets. So they had made their prophet, Maazallah, they had made Isa, Christianity much later, in the time of a person called Saint Paul. They call it, his real name was Saul, that he came up with the idea of Trinity. And that's how shirk started in Christianity, in which he, Maazallah, 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 he said that, Isa alayhi salam is son of God. That is much, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pointing out that it is not the prophets who said that, worship me or worship angels. It was something that was added much later. On the other hand, Jews, they ascribe another prophet as the Aziz alayhi salam, as the son of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is refuting their belief system, that any prophet would never do that. Well, so this is the ayyamurukum bil kufri ba'das antum muslimun. So why would a prophet main thing is for the guidance of the people, and what are you associating with the prophets? It is your false belief. Why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving them food for thought, that why would a prophet who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent as a guidance will tell you to worship, or associate anybody as a son of Allah, or as any angel as the equal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah we'll stop here, and if there's any comments, or inshallah we'll discuss that.